Okay, so all of the controversies described previously were sparked by one of the most contentious civil rights movements of the era. And that movement came to be identified as the Underground Railroad. The Underground Railroad was an informal network of secret routes and safe houses used by 19th century African slaves in the United States to escape to free states and Canada with the aid of abolitionists who were sympathetic to their cause. The term is also applied to the abolitionists who aided the fugitives. Other various routes led to Mexico or overseas. It was created in the early 19th century. The Underground Railroad was at its height between 1850 to 1860. And today, we have the sanctuary movement that assists undocumented workers in their quest to be treated as human beings. So let's watch the past sanctuary movement. Let's watch a film clip from the History Channel on one of the most famous persons to conduct the Underground Railroad, and that is Harriet Tubman. Let's learn something about this woman whom historians identify as the Moses of our people.
Harriet Tubman is considered the Moses of our people, and the kind of courage to escape to slavery yourself, but then to go back for people. And that's the real story of connection.
Here's someone that not only advocated leaving the plantation, but actually developed an underground railroad, a process that would usher people in the still of the night to escape to the north and escape to their freedom.
I mean, just imagine, you have gotten out of chattel slavery, the institution of slavery. You've escaped, and yet you come back. You have the courage and the care about other people to come back into a hell to try to get other people out of it. It's an amazing story.
No one struck more fear in the hearts of slave owners than Harriet Tubman, because tens of thousands of slave owners had to deal with, for the first time, the fact that these people are going to rebel. Well, on my slaves part of this movement, they had to look at their servants differently, because here was a woman that far beyond who she could touch, did not know who her followers were. She was far more effective as the symbol that they feared than the few hundred that she saved.
Lots of school children in America don't know a lot about slavery, but they know Harriet Tubman. It's almost a cliche, but it's a cliche that's a necessary one, because it's a story that's not just about black people, but it's about human beings caring for other people and having the courage to do what is right, even at peril to yourself. And so that's what I think her story is about.
Harriet Tubman remains an inspiration, because here's a woman that was, in physical terms, not a mighty woman, had no great education, no great learning, just the sheer determination of a woman to free people and to go up against all odds and risk her life over and over again, and to change the slave's mentality, made her an American and a world hero. The irony of it is, when she was once given an award for freeing 500 slaves, she said, "I could have freed more if I could have only convinced them they were slaves." She changed the minds of a lot of American blacks, and she changed American history with the Underground Railroad.
Fantastic. Now, there's 3 amendments to the Constitution that are important for us to remember in this course, because they all address specifically the issue of involuntary immigration. And most importantly, for the first time, define citizenship in the United States. And these amendments are very important because they still address the issue of the undocumented worker. These are the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments to the Constitution. The 14th Amendment is the most important to the United States because it's one of the post-Civil War amendments that was first intended to secure rights for former slaves. But most importantly, the 14th Amendment includes the due process and equal protection clauses, amongst others. And the amendment provides a broad definition of United States citizenship that superseded the U.S. Supreme Court's decision in Dred Scott versus Stanford that had excluded slaves imported to Africa and their descendants. The amendment requires states to provide equal protection under the law to all persons within their jurisdiction. And it was used in the mid-20th century to dismantle racial segregation in the United States, as in Brown versus Board of Education. Its due process clause has also been the basis of much important and controversial law regarding privacy rights, especially abortion and other issues. Now, the other two post-Civil War amendments are the 13th Amendment, which bans slavery, and the 15th Amendment, which bans race-based voting qualifications. Now, with the assassination of President Lincoln, Andrew Johnson, a Southern Democrat, had trouble with Congress